to the WIHS Journal. Today in the broadcast, I'll be talking to Tanya Snyder. She is the head of the school at the Cornerstone Christian School in Manchester, Connecticut. Today's interview will talk all about the requirements the teachers must have and also that they also always have ongoing admissions. Stay tuned for all the details. And we have Tanya Snyder, the head of a school of the Cornerstone Christian School in Manchester, Connecticut, and another great Christian school right here in Connecticut. So thank you so much for being with us on the broadcast today and sparing your time with us. So tell us a little bit about the Cornerstone School and when did it open?
The Cornerstone Christian School is a school that meets the needs of children who are 3 years old, preschool, all the way up through grade 12. We began our ministry back in 1981 with fewer than those grades, but we've expanded all the way up through 12th grade. Our mission actually is to engage and educate young people to know and be transformed by Christ through the ways they think, act, learn, serve, and work together for God's kingdom.
So what is the admission process, and is it always ongoing?
It is ongoing. It's a little harder mid-year for students who are in high school, or especially in grades 10 through 12, if they already have credit they've been earning from another school. But we definitely work with families, even in those situations. All year long, we accept applications, and when we don't have a full class, we will do our best to get a kiddo into the program as quickly as we can.
How do you implement Christian values during the curriculum?
We do it in a whole bunch of different ways. We work hard to support what's happening in the Christian homes of many of the children who are attending our school. We make sure that we are hiring teachers who have a biblical worldview, meaning that they also have a Christian testimony themselves. You can't teach a biblical worldview if you do not possess one yourself. We also make sure that we are selecting curriculum and designing curriculum and programs that will help us to achieve being able to teach all that we teach within a biblical worldview. It doesn't matter where you go, whether it's a public place or a private place or a business, there's a way of looking at the world, and here we come right out and say we're looking at the world through a biblical lens. So that's what we do, how we try to implement those Christian values.
Awesome. And I was just on your website, and I love the mascot. I love the lion, you know.
Yeah, he has a lot of symbols in him, doesn't he?
He sure does. I was like, wow, I really love that. That is very powerful. Is there any explanation you want to give about your logo and why that's there?
Yeah, I mean, we worked with a logo designer some years ago saying the lion is our mascot. That is something that we worked with the student body several years ago to select a new mascot. We then wanted to find different ways, different symbols to incorporate into his mane. You'll see that there's a child who's reading a Bible. There's a cross on the lion's head, just reminding us that God is king, and he's the one who designed us to be people who can learn about his world. So it's a logo that points us in his direction.
Great. If you're just tuning in right now, I'm speaking to Tanya Snyder. She is the head of the school of Cornerstone Christian School in Manchester, Connecticut. So, Tanya, what are the future visions and hope and aspirations of the school?
Our vision is always to remain true to the original vision, which was to be a Christian school to families in the local area that wanted to see their children being raised in truth. Our own purpose statement is that we would teach truth, that we would train minds, that we would transform lives. In order to make that happen, we work very hard to remain as an accredited school. We are actually this year, every 7 years, we have to do a giant self-study for the accreditation period, and that's what we're in the middle of this year, as a big self-study with the Association of Christian Schools International, and making sure that we are continuously growing, continuously strengthening our program and our communication skills of the things that God has called us to do.
Great. So what are the specific requirements that you need to be a teacher at the Cornerstone Christian School in Manchester?
It somewhat depends on the grade level, but generally speaking, every teacher has to have a bachelor's degree for sure. But for the most part, probably 90% of our teachers have to be certified by ACSI, our accrediting agency. There are certain requirements that they have to go through training in order to be trained in a Christian philosophy of education, understanding what a biblical worldview is. Many of them have state licenses for teaching as well. That is not a requirement, but many of them do. Working very closely with me as their administrator on professional development. You can go on our website and actually see employment opportunities and be able to view our statement of faith, code of conduct that everyone has to adhere to, because we're trying very hard to model for the students that attend our school what that biblical worldview looks like.
Since we're on the topic, are you guys looking for paraprofessionals, teachers,
I'm really looking for substitute teachers. That's a really big need right now. We have a teacher, one of our teachers came out of retirement for us for teaching grade 3. Grade 3 is, she'd love to go back to retirement next year, so grade 3 is certainly a position I know I'm looking for next year.
Okay. Well, that's good to know ahead of us. So describe the setting of the school and what it looks like on a day-to-day basis.
Sure. We are one campus, but we have 2 buildings on our campus. If you were to come up our main driveway, you would find our elementary program, preschool up through grade 5, is located in the larger and newer building to the rear of the property. If you were to bear a left and you would come back out towards the main street, you would find our secondary building. We call it the McLean Building, named after the McLean family pastor who originated the school back in 1981. And in that building, we house our students in grades 6 through 12, and a little bit of crossover between the 2 buildings. Kids come over to one building for music and the other opposite building for PE classes. A lot of fun crossover with the youngers working with the olders for a variety of different service projects that we do together as well.
One question I forgot to ask was, how many children are all together in the school? What's the size of the school?
Yeah, this year we have about 170 students. Typically we have 180. It depends on the given year and the families that are coming around at that time. But right now we're around 170 students.
I enjoyed hearing so much about your logo, how you guys started, and your position there, and just how the children flourish by God's glory. That is a matter of fact. Any other details you would like to convey before we do close the broadcast today?
I don't think so. I appreciate you giving me a chance to share a little bit about our school, and it's a blessing to be able to be a part of it.
Great. Why don't you just share the website or phone number, how people can contact you?
Sure. Our website is thecornerstonechristianschool.com, and our phone number is 860-643-0792.
Once again on the broadcast with us was Tanya Snyder, the head of the school of a Cornerstone Christian School in Manchester, Connecticut. They are always accepting ongoing admissions. For more details about today's broadcast, you can call WIHS at 860-346-1049. I'm Anissa Porticelli for News and Public Affairs.